Welcome to another journey into the unknown. I'm Elowen Cross, and this is Unveiling the Unusual. Every week I uncover a mystery that defies logic, a phenomenon that lingers on the edges of our understanding. And tonight, we travel deep into the Siberian wilderness, to a moment in history when the sky burned, the earth trembled, and an explosion unlike any other reshaped an entire landscape. This is Case 5, Tunguska, the explosion that shook the world. Let's go back to a place few have ever seen, the vast, desolate expanse of Siberia, a land of untouched forests, stretching endlessly beneath the wide open sky. And yet, even in such isolation, something happened that no one could ignore. It was the morning of June 30th, 1908. Just after sunrise, the few inhabitants of the Tunguska region went about their daily routines. The Evenki people, indigenous reindeer herders, were guiding their animals through the vast taiga. Russian settlers in distant villages sat down for breakfast, unaware that their world was about to change forever. Then, at 7:17 a.m, without warning, the sky split apart. A brilliant light flashed across the heavens, streaking towards the earth like a fireball. It was blinding, unnatural, so bright that witnesses 40 miles away said it looked like a second sun, rising in the sky. It moved faster than any bird, faster than any storm. Within moments, the light intensified, and then a huge impact. A monstrous explosion tore through the air. It was so loud that people hundreds of miles away felt the shockwave shake their homes. The force was between 10 and 15 megatons of TNT, 1,000 times more powerful than the Hiroshima atomic bomb. It flattened 800 square miles of forest, snapping over 80 million trees like toothpicks. The blast sent a shockwave racing across the world, recorded by seismic stations as far away as England. For days, night skies across Europe and Asia glowed with an eerie silvery light, bright enough that people could read newspapers at midnight. And yet, when explorers finally reached the area, they found something unexpected. There was no crater, no impact site, just an enormous, devastated landscape, with millions of trees lying in a radial pattern, all pointing away from a central point of destruction. So what really happened in Tunguska? For years, the event remained a mystery, its true magnitude unknown. Tunguska was remote, nearly impossible to access, but the few who lived in the region saw everything. One of the most detailed accounts comes from Semyon Semenov, a tradesman living in the village of Vanavara, about 40 miles from the blast site. He later described the moment when his life changed forever.
I felt the heat so intense, I thought my shirt would catch fire. The ground trembled beneath me. The sky roared like thunder, but not just once. There were multiple explosions, one after another. The shockwave hit me like a hammer. I was thrown backward, my face burning, my ears ringing. Windows shattered all around me. The wind that followed was so strong that it knocked people off their feet.
Semenov's village was miles from the blast, yet it still suffered immense damage. Closer to the explosion, things were far worse. The Evenki people, who had lived in harmony with the land for generations, had their entire way of life shattered in an instant. Their hunting grounds were obliterated. Their tents and reindeer herds were wiped out. Many believed the event was a message from the gods, a punishment, or a sign of impending doom. Chuchun, a local shaman, spoke of the disaster in hushed tones.
We saw the fire in the sky. It came with a great noise, brighter than the sun. The trees fell. The reindeer ran, but there was no escape. The ground moved. Those who looked at the fire lost their sight. We do not go to that place anymore.
For decades, no one ventured to the epicenter. The land itself seemed tainted. But what really caused the Tunguska explosion? Theories range from the scientific to the outright bizarre. Some have suggested that it was the crash of an alien spacecraft, a catastrophic failure of an unknown technology. The precise blast pattern, the lack of debris, and the evidence of extreme heat and radiation have fueled speculation that something otherworldly came down that day. Others believe it was a secret experiment, a failed weapons test decades before nuclear energy was officially discovered. But in 1908, it does seem unlikely. And then there's the strangest theory of all, that the explosion wasn't an accident at all. Some believe that Tunguska was a warning, a calculated show of force from an intelligence beyond our comprehension. A demonstration of power, deliberate, precise, and terrifying. But of all the theories, one remains the most widely accepted, an airburst event caused by a cosmic intruder. Scientists now believe that an asteroid or comet, roughly 50 to 60 metres wide, entered Earth's atmosphere at 33,500 miles per hour. Instead of striking the ground, it detonated mid-air, about 5 miles above the surface. The intense pressure and heat instantly vaporized the object, meaning no crater was left behind. But the resulting shockwave was enough to flatten everything beneath it. It was a natural disaster of cosmic proportions, and one that could happen again. Over a century later, the Tunguska blast site still bears its scars. The trees still lie flattened in eerie concentric circles, marking the spot where the sky itself seemed to explode. To this day, no one knows for certain what caused the Tunguska event, and perhaps we never will. But one thing is clear, it was a warning, a reminder that at any moment, from the vast and silent depths of space, something can come hurtling toward us without warning. The question is, will we be ready when it happens again? Join me next time on Unveiling the Unusual as we journey into another mystery that defies explanation. Until then, keep your eyes open, your mind sharp, and remember, the unusual is often hiding in plain sight.